lot of people have been making videos about leaving the UK, about the decay of this place, the grey, dark cloud hanging above us, the current government, the relentless march of multiculturalism diluting any sense of unity and community, the cost of living, etc., etc. Yes, it is getting quite bad. But don't leave. Not yet. It's not so bad yet that we should leave. It's worth fighting for. I'm Benjamin, and I'm going to tell you in this video why I'm not leaving the UK at this point in time. First of all, my father's line go back into prehistory in Cornwall. My actual last name is Cornish and Gwyn, and it would be such a waste for me to just leave without at least trying to motivate others to fight for the memory of this island's culture before it becomes just overrun by the endless hordes. I have thought about, maybe I should move to Israel to practice my own religion freely without threats. I mean, I had a Pakistani guy threaten me at a bus stop. That's what Britain is becoming now. And I could easily move back to America. I would miss the NHS, but I guess I could come back if my liver explodes or something. But the point is, this island's cultures, its nations, they are worth fighting for. It's not finished. We do have one, maybe two more elections on this island in which we could put forward governments who will stop these post-war pro-globalisation attitudes and actually save the future of this island. It's still possible, and wouldn't it be better for you to actually stay and fight during that time rather than go? Yes, I have thought about going myself because, well, let's get into that. Economics. Everything costs more here than anywhere else in Western Europe, just about. Travel costs. The train costs twice as more as anywhere else in most of Europe. Utilities, gas, electric costs more. Groceries are going up. The government slapped us with additional council tax. That's gone up. Council tax, by the way, is a scam, especially for you if you rent. The cost of owning a car is now going up, not because the government wanted us to drive green, but because they don't actually want you to drive cars, because they're actually driving the costs up for driving electric cars. So it was never about green. They just don't want you to own a car. Everything is getting more expensive. The jobs are mostly service jobs without any future. It genuinely feels like the British government has a physical hatred of its own people. They're pumping out propaganda constantly now that's basically anti-ethnically British, anti-male, anti-white, anti-Western. Everything they can do to demoralize white men, basically they're doing. I could say I don't know why they're doing it, but I actually do know why they're doing it. Because they genuinely believe that nationalism, Western identity, and the nation state are evil. They genuinely believe this, and the reason you know that's the case is because they literally compare anything that's remotely right-wing or remotely conservative, you're a Nazi, immediately. They just say it immediately without even thinking. Nazi, Hitler, bigot, racist. Anything that doesn't fit into their beige multicultural narrative, they immediately call a Nazi. It's crazy. The tax system here is really complicated, by the way. I mean, just about everything you can think of. You go out for a meal with your friends. For just a few of you, you're easily £100 for something you could make at home for like 4 or 5 of you for £15. The cost of alcohol's gone up. So forget having fun, right? I mean, I still drink, but it's not emphasizing family. It's actually emphasizing, we just had a Ramadan, the month-long Islamic holiday thing. And the Labour government just, we were bombarded. It was just non-stop. Every day. The BBC, which is basically the state news channel, was promoting Islam non-stop. It was plastered all over buses. The social media, the Labour government's ministers were retweeting Islam all the time. You had an Islamic chant in Westminster, in Windsor Castle and Westminster, which is like, I'm not English, but for the English. But for the English, like, these are sacred pillars of your ancestry, and to have that in those halls it's blasphemous to your ancestors, basically. I've got nothing wrong with people celebrating their Ramadan beliefs, but what the government's doing is to try to inject it into being part of the established culture of Britain, when the native Britons never asked for it. In fact, the overwhelming majority are opposed to anything of the sort. That's a big problem. And then attached to that Islamification is the third world migration. Now, I am an immigrant. I do not want a situation where there are no immigrants. That would be horrific. But immigrants to a country should be, like I did, for marriage or ancestry, or for high-skilled jobs. Under no circumstance should large numbers of immigrants be brought into a country for low-skilled jobs en masse, with families being brought in addition for students, because that raises the cost of living, of housing for everyone. It outcompetes people for jobs. It's just a case of demand and supply, and the lack of any sense of unity among the population. These countries are not used to having ethnic ghettos. It's not historically part of Britain. It's all making... There's a storm coming in Britain, and it's clear everybody feels it. Everybody feels it, and our politicians are just so out of touch. In addition to this, we have anti-Jewish hate marches. It's almost daily at this point. Every Shabbat we have marches basically calling for the death of Jews in our streets. So yeah, I get why people are leaving the UK. I know several Jews who have left. They're like, I see what's coming. I don't want to be here for when the actual hunts begin, right? They've said that to me, and they've gone. So yeah, I've thought about leaving. And there was a viral video on here. I think he went to Australia or Malaysia or something, and his video went viral. But don't leave. Not yet. We still have 5 or 10 years in which we can turn this thing around. And we need every single one of you. I know it's bad. I know when you go out after a day of work here, you just see the street covered in filth. You see knife fights. You have issues on public transport with people yelling in languages you've never heard of. And then you go home and can't afford your rent, whilst you turn on the television and see your politicians promoting propaganda that tells you that your white children are evil. I mean, it's horrible. But we can turn it around. I'm convinced we can turn it around. There are people out there, I see them all the time and speak to them all the time, who really value Britain, Wales, England, Scotland, Cornwall. They value the ethics of these lands, the humour, the manner of dress, the manner of speech, everything about it, they really value. There's enough of us here to turn it around. And I'm saying this to you as someone who walks out the door and I have to worry if people are going to kill me for my religion now. I know this is a bit of a rant, but I want to let off steam, and I know a lot of you do too. But the answer is not going to Dubai. The answer is not going to some jungle and finding your spirituality. There's lots of spirituality here. Go back to church. Go back to synagogue. We don't have to see the loss of our spiritual heritage. Say to people that you want your country back. It's possible to do this. We, the ordinary people, outnumber the colonists and the urban ultra-liberal elite by like hundreds of times. It's so far from over. In fact, the fight for this island has not even started. It's just getting started now. People are just waking up. Yeah, I've thought about leaving. So at what point do you leave? If it's genuinely unsafe for you, if I cannot physically practice my religion here, and that breaks my heart, if I cannot physically afford to live here, maybe at that point I'll leave. It's getting more costly to live here. I know if you have kids and you're watching this, it's crazy. The whole system is designed here to prevent you from having a family, whilst importing people with families and paying for them. It's insane. But we can get back a sense that the destiny of this land belongs to the people who have ancestry in this land. That we have a right to choose the future of this land and who partakes in it. I want peoples here whose ancestry is here to have the right to shape the future of this land. I don't want a closed off wall. I'm just getting a bit irate with people leaving without fighting first. I may end up leaving in the future because of what this island is becoming. I never thought I'd see the day when Welsh nationalists, who I helped, attacked my religious faith. That's unbelievable. It's like the world's gone completely upside down. And I know it feels hopeless for a lot of you, looking at 4 more years, at least, of this Labour government. I mean, it's horrid. But Britain will get through it. And there are changes coming. There are people, when I speak to people in the pub or on the train or out at the shops, whatever, people are noticing that more and more of us have had enough. There are changes coming. And the least productive thing you could do is to leave before that fight really begins. That high trust society built by your ancestors, that's worth fighting for. That idea that we're all tolerant of everything, that's not real. That's constructed. Even democracy, which I value, democracy and tolerance is not what makes you Welsh or British. If we lost our democracy, it wouldn't change that you're Welsh or English or Scottish. That's not the defining feature of us. And those people in charge who seem to think that having a borderless economic zone for the world is what makes you British, they don't know what that word even means anymore. Because they want British or Welsh or English or whatever to be indistinguishable from French. And that's the problem. That's what's wrong with this country. I'm not attacking the EU. I'm attacking the worldview, this John Lennon utopia, which is actually the root of our problems. We're not all the same, and I don't want us to be all the same. I don't want a world where there's nothing worth dying for. I want a world with nations. I want God. I want things to love and die for. It's easy if you try. A world with borders and a world with God.